Growing up in Maryland as a young boy, living in the apartment projects, as I've stated before, presented unique business opportunities because you didn't live in a neighborhood with just a few houses scattered hither and yon. You didn't live out in the country with even less houses nearby. But growing up in suburban Maryland, in the echoes of the great noise of Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, there was a lot of people. And being in an apartment project, there was a lot of people piled up on a lot of people. There was people everywhere. Now, my brother and I did like going to the woods and running and playing in the woods and having a good old time in the woods. And so did my dad. Sometimes he would carry us all the way down to Great Falls, Maryland, the white running rapids, white waters of the Potomac River. Alongside the Potomac River was the C&O Canal, which would lazily flow along with the footpath. It was a beautiful place. You could either take nice casual strolls along the C&O Canal, or you could rough it. You could get out in the white water, climb on the rocks, whatever you wanted to do. There were swampy areas, there were fast water areas. There was a wide ecological spectrum of the outdoors when we went there. Now, I mentioned that living in apartments was a business opportunity. The reason I say this is my brother and I discovered that if we took a 5-gallon bucket or two with us to Great Falls, Maryland, and filled it up about half full of water, we could collect all sorts of wildlife while we were out running along the Potomac River, running along the falls, or lazily walking along the canal. And my dad saw no problem in it, and my mother had given up years ago trying to stop my dad and my brother from our crazy ideas. All three of us thought it would be good to collect salamanders, frogs, tadpoles, whatever icky, creepy, crawly things we felt like collecting. We would collect them and put them in those buckets and put something over the bucket with some air holes, and we'd bring those buckets back to our apartment project. And there, with little paper cups, baggies, boxes, whatever little carrying compartments we could come up with, we would divide our find into a miniature menagerie pet store. And my brother and I would write up all this listing on our little index cards or 8.5 by 11 paper. We would say, pet sale at whatever number our apartment was. I can't remember now. Pet sale. Come and get your live animals straight from the woods. And then we would list salamanders, frogs, tadpoles, whatever. Well, this was quite lucrative. We would have kids from all over the neighborhood. Tadpole would be a nickel. Salamander, which would be those sort of green salamanders with the red dots, we could get 50 cents for them. A bigger frog we might sell for $1. And sure enough, these city kids love to buy these critters. It went quite well the first time we did it. The second time we tried it, didn't go so well. We had parents coming back to our apartment with a little crying kid and a little baggie and a little tadpole floating upside down dead. And people be saying, we want a refund. How dare you sell my child a sick tadpole? My brother and I didn't know what happened. Fortunately, we hadn't spent all our money on toys and bubble gum and baseball cards and ice cream when the ice cream truck came. So we learned a little bit more about business. It's called customer satisfaction. So my brother and I very sheepishly and very unexcitedly would refund our little customers for dead animals, or for the fact that a mother would say, how dare you charge my child $1 for a frog? It was fun while it lasted. I think it lasted about 2 weeks. But the mercenary urge had bit me then. And to this day, my brother and I, growing up somewhat poor in the apartment projects around Maryland, we knew the value of making $1 or $2 on the side. And to this day, I'm still trying to turn $1 in some way that's not typical of your 9-to-5 job.